Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at my top 10 games of 2025 that are based on an intellectual property or IP. There were quite a few this year, a decent amount, and there were some that I did not enjoy as much as the popular consensus seems to enjoy, but hey, this is my list. You can let me know in the comments below where I went awry. But without any further to-do, let's go ahead and jump into the list, shall we? At my number 10, this is Pilgrims, Curious Adventures. Now, you might not know this is based on an intellectual property, but there's a video game that this takes its cues from, and its art and style. And it is a quirky little game. It's a strange sort of exploration game in which you are going to be traveling to one place to get an item from someone who you then have to take to someone else, and they'll then return, give you something you need, and that's kind of what the game is. It's small, very indie, and this game feels that way to me. It gives you that feeling of traveling around, having to go get specific combinations of items to cash in to get some victory points. I enjoy it. It's a small game. I think it's one that unfortunately is going to fly under the radar, but for what it does, I really enjoyed it. It's a comfortable game immediately, and I think it's one that if you like the intellectual property, you'll find comfortable as well. For number 9, Horrified, Dungeons and Dragons. Now, Horrified has already come out with a few different releases, but this is the first time that they tackle something like this. It's just sort of been based on American monsters. The original was an intellectual property, right? The Universal monsters. But it was American folklore and monsters, and they did Greek monsters, and well, now Dungeons and Dragons. And it's kind of a pretty perfect marriage when you think about it. Horrified as a system works very well and can kind of take on just about any theme. But with D&D and the way they incorporated rolling D20s into the game, it works out really well. There's a couple of things I think I would change in the game, but overall, if you enjoy Dungeons and Dragons and you want a game that's going to help you jump into board gaming, you want something cooperative, then I think Horrified is a good one for that. My number 8 is a Cthulhu game, Cthulhu Dark Providence. This is sort of set in the same world as Cthulhu Death May Die, but it is based on an earlier release from a few years ago called A Study in Emerald. If you don't know that game, that's fine. Just be aware this is not Cthulhu Death May Die. This is sort of thinky, it's a subtle game, it has shifting alliances, it sort of feels like a Euro-style game. It is not a big, dumb, bombastic game, which can be super, super fun. This isn't that. This one's going to take a few plays for you to for it to seep into your mind and for you to understand how to subtly manipulate what's going on. Having said that, really nice reworking here of A Study in Emerald, that first edition. And it's clever, it's enjoyable, it's a lot of fun stuff that can happen, twists and turns. It's one that I would recommend if you like games that have a lot of moving parts that might not all come into play. Okay? So there you go, that's Cthulhu Dark Providence. For number 7 for me, Marvel Skirmish in New York. This one also happens to be a reworking, though the original game is sort of not something I think you need to worry about. This new one, it's a 2-player head-to-head game in which you either control villains from the Marvel Universe or heroes, and you play cards on your side trying to shift control of the battle, if you would. It's fairly abstracted. You have to get to a certain number of victory points or control a certain number of locations in order to win. But if you like Marvel as a theme, this one's going to give you some neat stuff to do. It's very light, very simple. I sort of think of it in the same way that I think of the Pilgrims game, in which it's a smattering, it's a wafting of that theme more than it is, oh my gosh, I'm in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're not going to get that. But if you enjoy the setting, that's going to go some ways towards enjoying the game itself, which I do like. My number 6 is The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. This is by far the biggest game on this list. It is from the same folks that make Too Many Bones, and it is sort of based on that system, if you would. It's big, it's epic, it's going to put you into the world of the Elder Scrolls. Think, right, Skyrim, all of those games. In this one, you are going to have a character, you are going to pick many different aspects that make up that character, and you are going to go on quests. There will be exploration, there is going to be combat based on maps, there's going to be delving into caves and dungeons, and you will explore those as you go. Production quality, as you can expect from this company, is through the roof, and the whole thing is, while very demanding, also very rewarding. So that is Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era, my number 6. My number 5 goes to Core of Discovery, and this is based on a graphic novel, just like every other game from Off the Page Games, the publisher here. Core Discovery, I've actually read some of this. I'm kind of halfway through reading it, and I'm really, really enjoying the graphic novel. So if you do find yourself, taking a look at this one and enjoying it, check out the graphic novel, the source material, if you would. It's going to be a deduction game, a cooperative deduction game with some risk management, with some threat assessment you have to do, and then exploring the map as the characters do in the graphic novel, in which they are going on the expedition with Lewis and Clark. That's the idea, but of course with many supernatural twists and turns. Really well done, fits the theme really well, but it does some very clever and interesting things that are honestly things I haven't seen before in anything else. So very much, if you're looking for one that's based on a cool intellectual property and is going to stand out in your collection, Core Discovery is a good candidate for that. Number 4 is Star Wars Battle of Hoth, and this one's kind of based on Memoir 44. It's a similar game to Memoir 44. 2 players across the table engaging in war over the planet of Hoth. You're going to have all of the troops. You're going to have all the AT-ATs. You're going to have all of the different units that you would have seen in the movie and in the combat there. But of course, you'll be controlling the fight. There's a bunch of scenarios in it. They will give you more things as you go. You'll have various cards that are going to enhance the things you can do. And then, much like in Memoir 44, in that system, you play cards to activate the units and roll some dice to take down your opponents. If you want that sort of, light combat game set in Star Wars, you can't go wrong with this one. My number 3 is The Hobbit, There and Back Again. And this is a roll and write that has a bunch of different chapters. So it sort of feels like you're getting, 8 or 10 in one roll and write. And they take you through the story in the Book of the Hobbit. And so you'll be doing all sorts of things like leaving the Shire and encountering those big trolls that, get turned to stone. No spoilers, but, it's 100 years old. And you'll be, meeting up with the different characters along the way, basically going through the story, but all of it done in this sort of dry erase, roll and write style game. Really neat, incredible production. The book that you're flipping and playing on sort of feels like one of those big, thick cardboard slab books for very small children, and I love the production in this one. So that is The Hobbit, There and Back Again, my number 3. My number 2 is DC Superheroes United, Batman Hush. We finally got a little bit of a taste of DC Superheroes United, which is, of course, the DC version of Marvel United. And this is a standalone core box that came out this year before all of the DC Superheroes United stuff hopefully shows up in 2026. And this one very much feels standalone. You get to be Batman. You're going to have, let's see, who's in there? Catwoman. You're going to have Robin. You're going to have Huntress. There's a bunch of different characters. You can choose one of them to be. You are going to go up against a Superman that has been ensorcelled by Poison Ivy. You are going to go up against Joker. There's a few different fights, and of course, Hush, the main character, sort of main baddie. It feels really like there's a lot going on, and in fact, I'm not sure if you should try this if you have never tried Marvel United. Like, if you're not sure of the system, this is not a sampling of that. This is the whole meal. maybe you do want because you're only going to get one. And this is very much a standalone box. It feels insular in many ways. But if you like Batman a lot and you like these characters I'm mentioning, there's a lot of game in this box. The main mode is cooperative, but you can also sort of play all versus one, and you can add equipment to the characters to give you more options and more things to think about. Really fun stuff. Yeah, if you're a DC fan, you should try this one out for sure. And then lastly, my number one game of the year that is based on intellectual property is going to be Unmatched Adventures Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Unmatched is a combat game. Unmatched Adventures takes that game and turns it into a cooperative game where you are fighting against some baddies. That has been done before once, but it had no specific theme. It used figures from myth and history. And now we are getting one, or we got one that is based on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it is chock full of theme. It is chock full of awesome artwork, and it feels just like the characters you know and love and kind of grew up with. You are going to have, of course, the 4 turtles, and they have sidekicks. And you're going to go up against Shredder or Krang. And there's so much content in this box, so many different things you can do. And then if you love it and you want to keep exploring, you can actually get any Unmatched product, cooperative or not, and plug it into this game and play against Shredder or Krang with those people. I love to grab Daredevil, who they've done in the past, and he joins the Turtles in New York. I mean, he lives there anyway, so that's the kind of thing you can do in this one, but it is just fantastic. And that's my number one, folks, and that's going to do it for me in my top 10 games of 2025 based on an IP. Thank you very much for checking this one out. Let me know, like I said, in the comments below, what did I miss? What were some of the ones you enjoyed this year? But for now, let's keep on going. I'll see you.
Thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video. And we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.